Hello, guys. So, this won't be long, but I titled this Black Women Need to Be Encouraged to Heal More Than Anything. And what I mean by that is that, it's just these talks of this expectation that all Black women should be with somebody. I still hear it to this day, and to be honest with you, I don't even hardly listen to the race first women or the pro Black women, so I'm not even talking about them. It's just attitude that Black women have to always have a man, and now it has to be a non-Black man, not necessarily a Black man. If now is, and you know what, I don't really care who people, especially Black women, I don't care who they with, as long as they with somebody who treat them right. Because bottom line, this is about to become a classist system. See, one of the commenters, I am richly melanated. I'm sure she don't mind me bringing up her username. I already knew this, and so she brought up a good point, which I knew already, that a lot of all elitists are not just one complexion. It's a lot of Black ones, brown skin ones, okay? But they're not seen, okay? They're behind the scenes, while the ones that look a certain way are pushed up front. Why is that? Because they need to keep pushing this narrative that anybody with brown skin, especially the brown male, is oppressed by white supremacy. So you cannot see, and I already knew this by listening to other people in certain groups that have certain types of intel, and they can't say these type of things on a public platform. So I knew that from listening to people who have a certain type of intel. But it's some Black elites out there, okay? It's a lot of them. And the bloodlines are different. That's why I couldn't get into this our people mess, because just because somebody is a brown complexion doesn't mean they're your people, because it's all about bloodlines, and I'm talking about bloodlines that go outside of this planet. But I don't want to get on that. That's just too off. I'm just trying to make a point there about the elites and all that stuff. But yeah. So what I was trying to say is that that we're getting into a classist system. So being so concerned about whoever's at the bottom and whoever's at the top, this is going to be a classist system. Either you got money or you don't. It's not even going to be about that race mess anymore, because that was of a different cycle. That was of a different paradigm. We're moving into the paradigm of now where, and this has been in the works for a long time, and a lot of conspiracy theorists have talked about this, and people were aware but didn't really prepare. That's how it is. But that the middle class will be just moved out. You're either going to be poor or you're going to be rich, and that's it. And so at this point, it's going to be a lot of white folks that's going to suffer. It's going to be a lot of different groups of people that's going to suffer. So I just really encourage, I've always encouraged women to get with who's best for them. But I want to get to the healing part. I don't want to spend too much time on dating, because this is not a dating channel. I say Black women should be encouraged to heal more than anything. Because like I said earlier when the audio first started, I just don't hear much about Black women healing. And when it is any talk about Black women that need to heal, it's in a very judgmental kind of manner. It's in a very judgmental kind of manner. But all this talk about, just, dating and Black women going to be alone, and there's a lot of Black women that's not going to be with anybody. Just from what I am observing online and offline, but mostly online, because I don't, come across that many people. I just go to work and just do whatever. I don't hang out like that. But just from what I observed in life and online, it's a lot of Black women that don't need to be worried about being with a Black man or a non-Black man right now. It's just they need to work on themselves. And the reason why is because it's a lot that just needs to be, it's a lot of inner work that needs to be done. This expectation that that because he is a non-Black male, he's supposed to stick up for Black women and girls. do the job that the black men, a lot of them did not do. Okay. And we just going to have to keep that, 100. A lot of black women are expecting these non-black men to do the job that their own group of men did not do. A lot of black women are codependent. I talked about that before. A lot of black women are codependent. Okay, so you have one group of black women, and I'm going to talk about the group that the race first or pro-black women and the non. Okay, so you have one group that I've already figured out that a lot of times these ladies, no matter what these guys do to disrespect them, they're gonna always say that, oh, we have your back and I'll never leave you and stuff. It was a time where I solely believed that it was programming and that it could, they were programmed during the civil rights movements and during the Black Power movements and during slavery. There was a time that I believe that this was solely programming. But I'm to the point that this is not just programming. This is a person who is codependent because they don't want to face themselves. I have come to that conclusion for a lot of black women that they do not want to face themselves. So there's a level of programming, yes it is, but there's also a huge level of codependency. Okay, a lot of these women want to hold on to these guys no matter what they do and how nasty they are and how much they hurt their daughters or whoever or their sons. They want to hold on to these guys no matter what because they are extremely afraid to face who they are. That's just the bottom line for me for a lot of these women. I think the programming part, a lot of us have dealt with programming, but I think that programming stuff is just part of it. For me, most of it is them not wanting to face who they are. That's what it is to me. And then you see this same behavior in a lot of so-called divested women because I don't get into the titles. I say so-called because they want to call themselves. I don't know what they are. I try not to get too much into titles, but I just use words just to describe how the movement that's going on. And so the so-called divested group, I noticed that there's a codependency when it comes to YouTubers. I noticed there's a codependency there. And a lot of times, if you might insinuate that their favorite YouTuber, that something could be wrong there, that you want to tell them to ask a different set of questions, they will come after you. They will tear you down. And like I said, to me, that's no different. The way these ladies will fight for their favorite YouTuber is no different than a lot of these ladies who will fight for their black men, for their black kings, as people say. It's no different to me. So there's an issue there, and I think the main issue is that they need this person, like they need them to stand in the gap, like they need them to be there. It's like they need this person, whether it's a popular YouTuber, whether it's black men or a white man or a Asian or whoever. They need this person to stand between their shadow self and the other part of themselves. Like they need that person to stand between them so they don't have to face who they are. They need it. And this is what I'm talking about. And you guys, if you guys have any other input, you guys can say something in the comment section. But yeah, a lot of I just feel like a lot of black women at this point should just be encouraged more to heal. And what I hear a lot of is that this saying that, oh, black women are just going to be alone. Black women, you're just not going to have a man. I was listening to a radio station the other day, and it's a soft rock channel that plays a lot of 80s music and to the early 2000s, okay? 80s music up to the early 2000s. And I think the topic was about, women being single. And of course, it was a lot of white women that called in, because of the type of station it is. And a lot of these white women ain't thinking about being with nobody. I mean, a lot of these white women are not thinking about being with nobody. And to be honest with you, when I talk to some of these elderly ladies, even the black ones, when I talk to these elderly ladies that's in their 80s or whatever, and I say I'm not married and I don't have kids, they don't even, they don't even have anything negative to say. It's almost like they understand. One woman who's Hispanic, which surprised me because they're very Mexican. They're very family oriented. I told her I don't have kids and I'm not married, and she said, "Smart girl." See what I'm saying? These women who already raised their children, who already been in a marriage for 40 years, when I tell them I've never been married, they don't have anything bad to say. So what does that tell you? See, everybody, if you want to get married, that is fine, but that doesn't mean everybody needs to get married. Like I said, when I listened to that radio station, there was a lot of white women that called in that used to be married, or some that's never been married, say they enjoy their freedom. They don't want to have to answer to nobody. They just like being alone. And I'm not trying to encourage nobody to be alone. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that what's missing when I listen to a lot of these ladies, no matter what side of YouTube they might be on, especially when they want to talk about relationships, as they're missing the healing aspect. And when they do talk about the healing aspect, it's almost sounds like a judgment. It sounds like the ladies, black women who are sick, are being judged. But see, that's the problem when you only encourage somebody to leave black men alone and just get with this non-black man. Yeah, but she needs to work on some inner healing, because she's had like over 20 years of trauma that she needs to work through, and ain't no non-black man gonna fix that. And a lot of black women have been traumatized. We already know that. So a non-black man is not gonna fix that. They're not going to fix it. They go into these relationships traumatized and sick, and thinking that just dating thinking that the black man was the reason for all their problems. So they figure they're going to leave black men alone and it's going to be fixed, because they're not being encouraged to work on healing. They're not being encouraged to work on healing. They're thinking that somebody else outside of themselves is the problem. And so just get rid of those people in life is just going to be grand, and that's not it. And so that's all I want to say. A lot of black women want to be loved. They want to be loved. It's nothing wrong with that. That's natural. It's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is that a lot of black women need to learn to love themselves. They need to learn to love themselves. And depending on the level of trauma and how many influences have been in some of these women's lives, it can take years. And see, if you have not learned to love yourself yet, you're going to continue to pick the wrong person, whether he's black or white or whoever. That's why I say black women need to be encouraged to work on healing more than anything. But it's like they're being insulted. Like a lot of times black women are insulted for needing healing. It's like people will recognize the fact that they need healing, but they are saying in such a way that they're like a second-class citizen. But yeah, I think if anything else, that's what a lot of black women need to do. They need to just they don't need to be with a black man. They don't need to be with a non-black man. They just need to cut a lot of people out of their lives, be alone, and just work on healing. And I say inner work because of a lot of the trauma is stored in your spiritual, your subconscious. But for me, meditation, a lot of the meditation has guided me into what I need to do. You see it through images, and you'll see certain things, and then, so that's all I have to say. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think about that. But I think black women just need to be encouraged to work on healing more than they need to continue to be bombarded with, you don't have a man, you don't have a man, you don't have a man, So you guys just let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you soon.